What is up, comic fans? Welcome to the Legion of Comics. It's Sunday night. That means this is at week's end. We're about to take a spoiler-filled look back at this week in comics and so much more. And there's a lot to talk about, from comics to news to devastating news for one company. And we're going to dive into all that and unpack it right after this. Shout out to the channel sponsor, Big Time Collectibles. They sponsor the monthly Legion Loot giveaway for the channel members, so be sure to hit that join button down below and become a channel member today, and follow them on their social medias to not miss out on the awesome stuff they've constantly got going on. And if you need anything cleaner pressed, hit up Justin over on Instagram. Let him know you found him via the channel and take advantage of the special offer that he runs for viewers of the channel. And a huge shout out to the local sponsor and my local LCS, the Augusta Book Exchange. Be sure, again, to hit the link in the descriptions to find all the sponsors and all that good stuff. And a huge shout out to the Augusta Book Exchange, who just changed location and is updating their name to ABX Comics and Games. So let's go ahead and bring in the panel. We got, as always, joining me, my ring-slinging compadre, Mr. Paul Cook.
What's going on? So you're saying that the Augusta Book Exchange exchanged their address for a new one?
They did, and they're exchanging their name. At least the name on the sign of the building. They're still the Augusta Book Exchange, but they're just going to put ABX Comics and Games on the signage.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
They're kind of known as ABX, but they've been like the Augusta Book Exchange since the late 70s, mid-late 70s. It's like this. It's like the oldest comic shop in the Southeast. They've been around for decades. You don't want to lose that. You know what I mean? You definitely don't want to lose that. And joining us, the foundation of the layout tonight, Mr. TM Nerdy, who I learned today prefers to be on bottom.
Less work, less work.
What'd you say?
Just lay back, let him do all the work.
Let him do all the work. For those who don't know what we're talking about, TM Nerdy and Geek Out with Roscoe were guest panelists and competitors on the first episode of Treehouse Trivia over on Phil's Treehouse YouTube channel. Yo, when I tell you that this was such a well planned out, organized, fun, hilarious, good time. Like, this was one of the most entertaining times I've had on YouTube watching something. It was just an absolute blast. I laughed the entire time, like legitimately laughed. Like, I wasn't around anyone, so it's not like I was, you're just giggling to yourself while I'm driving home from work and stuff. It was a blast, dude. My cheeks were sore. I appreciate y'all's effort.
It was very good. Very, very well done.
And he also gave away a first appearance of Eddie Brock, first appearance of Venom, as well as the first appearance of Miles Morales on the show. He had a massive first show. It was insane. Shout out to actual Dracula and Mrs. Von Hoot won the two.
Mrs. Von Hoot, yes.
Next one is in 2 weeks, and it'll be K-pop. That's Katie and Tylox the Mighty.
Nice.
Very cool. I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of shows that happen every 2 weeks, Paul, what do we got going on this week over on your channel?
We happen to have our we will be great. We will be graciously welcoming our bottom to to guess that key, along with Geek Out with Roscoe as well. So we will have them both on as well this coming Wednesday. So it'll be Between the Lines against Guess That Key
at 9:30 p.m. on Sector 2815's YouTube channel.
Correct.
As well as tomorrow morning, the DC Deep Dive will be airing. And then make sure you have your notification bells on, because there's a special video dropping this week over there as well. Looking forward to that.
Correct.
We've been busy. We've been real busy.
Mm-hmm.
Been busy. So let me say hey to the chat real quick, and we'll start diving into stuff. I just got done eating a lot of fried rice. I'm like sitting here about to hiccup. What is going on, Las Crucias 1971? Pops Attic is in the chat. What's happening? Dr. Von Hoot, congratulations on your wife winning big. That was legendary. Speaking of legendary, Collecting with Durs. What is going on, brother? Hey, there's Phil. Hey, Phil. What's up? Fantastic show, my man. That was a blast. I appreciate the effort that you put into that. It showed how much time and effort that you dedicated to that. Every second of it was amazing, my man. Like the reoccurring Kroger joke got me.
And Kroger's thanks you as well.
Yeah, Kroger, the unofficial sponsor of today's episode. Yeah. Cheesy one, what is happening? Hope you're doing good. Trev, the shipping guru, is in the building. Paul Rogers, Mark, the other me, and TM hope you are all doing well. There's a lot of Pauls.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to Tuesday going up to the shop and hanging out. Yo, I saw that the shop was booming. Like since he changed locations, it seems like the traffic is way up. It's such a better location. It seems like everybody who goes in is like, yeah, this is right down the street. And it looked like the whole gaming area was just full of people just playing all kinds of different stuff yesterday morning. It was dope. It was dope to see. Couching and slouching with C Bizzle is in the house. Good evening. Good evening. Mr. Beckerman. Hey, fellas. Well, hey, Beckerman. Strangely enough, I haven't spoken to him on the phone today, not like voice call, which now that I say it out loud makes me feel kind of weird. Wheelchair Superhero 87 is in the building. What is happening, brother? Hope you're doing well.
Oh, no.
Do. And if I missed you, I apologize, but I'm not sorry. It's hard to see. I don't want to lie to him, you know what I mean? Just trying to keep it honest. Some people say it's better to be polite than honest. I don't agree. I disagree. All right, let's get into it. So there's a lot of comic book related news and stuff with media and everything across the board. We're gonna start small here as to not get stuck down a rabbit hole. We were starting to talk about it right before we went live, but TM mentioned that he has concerns about the show out for Transformers: Rise of the Beast. He's afraid that it won't get the numbers that he would like to see it get, as I would. I would like to see it get big numbers to ensure, and it makes you think like it was a good film, it was a successful film, and they make more kind of thing. But what was your primary concern? That's just kind of an over bloated time for movies?
Yeah, because you got Fast X. A lot of people are going to be going to that. People are going to be planning their movies going forward, like Fast X. They're going to go see Into the Spider-Verse 2. They're going to go see The Flash. They're going to choose their movies wisely, as I do as well. I don't go to every movie that drops in that. I won't be going to see Fast X. I won't be going to see Into the Spider-Verse 2, but I will be going to see Transformers: Rise of the Beast and The Flash, and then Blue Beetle, and I think that's going to be like the last movies I see this year. But I think a lot of people are putting it to the wayside, being like, oh, it's another Transformers movie, so they're going to be like, nah, I'm not going to go see it.
Yeah, what if people have separated, since Bumblebee, I wonder if people like mentally have separated the Michael Bay set from the now Bumblebee moving forward set, or if they think it's all just the same thing still.
Yeah, and we were talking too. I mean, like Fast X. I think in some ways, they may be getting diminishing returns. They may be going to the well too often too, because although Fast X is doing gangbusters internationally, it actually is the highest grossing opening movie so far of the year internationally. Domestically, it did $65 million, which sounds like a lot, but that's pretty much what Shazam did.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But to put that into context, it did 67.5 domestically,
right?
319 million globally. That is
exactly.
a huge
230 some million internationally, which is like I said, is the number one opening movie internationally so far.
Proof positive, like definitive evidence that people don't hate Brie Larson. So that there you go. There's another example where that's just out the window. I think that's pretty. I don't know. It says a lot. I guess people just like cars or something, because it's kind of the same way with the Mission Impossible franchise. Wildly successful franchise, but it gets most of its success abroad more than it does here, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they still perform here, but they're not like setting records for domestic box offices. I know. I think it was you that mentioned how Tom Cruise is pushing hard, trying to rally the troops and say that he expects this to be Maverick level style movie. I mean, after Fallout, if anyone saw Fallout, they know to take yourself to the theater to see the next Mission Impossible.
Right.
I saw that trailer, and that trailer looks fantastic.
Yes, it does. Yeah, and that comes out this summer too, doesn't it?
Yeah. The only thing I worry about is will the fact that it's a 2-part movie scare anybody away?
Not me.
Yeah,
well, with as long as the name is, maybe they won't even read that far. It's Mission Impossible something part 1.
Right. Mm-hmm.
There's only so many times you can remake the same movie. Yeah, I'll give the Furious credit. They're not very repetitive for something that's just about a family driving cars. I mean, we've gone from street racing to drifting, and like, all right, we done did it. Let's do drug running. All right, let's do CIA missions. All right, let's fight a submarine. Screw it, let's go to space. Like it's turned into Roger Moore's James Bond, and I think that's to its credit. It knows what it is, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. And they're going for over the top. They're going for extreme. If they try to be too street level, it wouldn't work anymore.
And I'm not a big Fast and Furious fan, but I'm probably gonna go see it because I want to see Groot and Captain Marvel versus Peacemaker and Aquaman.
Two Aquaman.
That's right, two Aquaman.
Two
Yeah,
Aquaman. You have Alan. What is it? Alan
Richardson,
who was Aquaman in Smallville.
Yeah,
He played Hawk in Titans, and he's now Reacher. He's in there, and then you got Jason Momoa,
right,
on opposite sides, fighting Groot.
Yep,
and Captain Marvel.
I think Alan Richardson wasn't that like the first live action Aquaman was Alan Richardson. Wasn't there one before that?
Justin Hartley was.
Hartley.
He played Green Arrow in Smallville. He was Aquaman in the made-for-TV pilot. That Lou Diamond Phillips was in it as his dad.
But that was after Alan Richardson appeared as Aquaman on Smallville.
They included that DVD in one of the season compilations of Smallville.
Yeah, if you buy Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, that Aquaman movie with Justin Hartley is in the special features to it. As long as you get it on Blu-ray or better, it's not in just the standard DVD special features.
You want to see Alan Richardson at his best? You just gotta watch Blue Mountain State.
I can see him doing good in a comical role. Is that a comedy show?
Oh yeah, he plays a guy named Thad.
This is an accurate comment. The only person that takes it seriously is Vin Diesel. That's why it's wildly entertaining. Exactly. That is 100% spot on. He's not in on the joke. What is going on, Izzyverse? Dude, I'm glad. It looked like you had a blast at the comic swap this weekend. That looked awesome. I can't wait to watch the live stream you have set for that.
I just want to see Vin Diesel do "I am Dom," like as a line.
Yeah, I agree with Trev here. Reacher is his best. I feel like he was built for that role. Like, I think Lee Child was describing the future Alan Rickman when he wrote those books. I've read 2 of them years ago. I can't remember the names of them. Izzy, did you ever find a rat? That's a solid question. Blue Mountain State is freaking hilarious. Team, I'd ask you what platform it streams on, but all of y'all stuff is so vastly different than where to find stuff here.
It used to be like years ago. Like this is like it's an old show. It's like it was on Netflix when I watched it. It's all about like Blue Mountain State is just a college in that, and it's hilarious. Yeah, he plays the captain of the football team in that. He's just outrageously stupid.
I'm looking right now.
It's on Tubi.
Tubi, that says it all.
And Pluto TV.
Yes. That's from 2010 to 2011. 3 seasons.
And the CW. It's all over the place. It's on the CW. Good. It's on Amazon Prime Video.
30-minute seasons. Or 30
yeah. Do you? What's his name? I can't think of his name right now, but he was the best friend of Clark at the first couple of seasons of Smallville.
Pete, the actor who played Pete.
Pete. Yeah, Pete's in it. Is in Blue Mountain State as well.
Oh, wow.
That episode of Smallville where they went to I forget the name of the band. They went to the band and they were all chewing kryptonite or meteorite gum, and Pete got the stretchy powers.
And that was like he was off the show for a while, and then he just came back for that episode. And that I was like, oh, he has the same powers as Plastic Man.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those actors have not done all that well. Wasn't Chloe was in a cult, wasn't she?
I feel like she did great for herself. She accomplished a lot of goals. Most people don't even set foot in a cult, and she was like the leading one, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And now she's probably good at whittling, making license plates.
Laundry.
It sucks watching that now because like her performance in it, she was a fan favorite too.
Yeah, Allison Mack was one of the actual best actresses in it. It definitely wasn't Kirsten Cruick. Erica Durance was fantastic as well, though.
As Lois, like she was fantastic as Lois. It's hard to beat that performance.
She was a great recruiter. See what I'm saying? She's got so many useful tools in her tool belt.
Mhm.
Motivator. Allison Mac Daddy. Yeah, man, that's crazy though. How things turn out for people. I mean, same thing with Jonathan Majors. It's crazy to think it goes from here and now to over there,
Mhm.
and looking like that things aren't looking good for him either. They did announce that they're going to try to put some kind of plot thread into Kang stuff in the Loki season 2 that's supposed to be coming out. So I don't know if
Okay.
Disney plans on recasting him or if they're going to kind of just do a fill-in variant or just get away from Kang altogether. But we'll know one day.
Mhm.
It's going to be hard since that I haven't watched Quantumania. I don't know if that end credit scene is still in it on Disney Plus or not, but they did have like that scene where it's like the main plot point was him going back in time and seeing this other variant of Loki or
Right.
of Kang. So I'm not sure because they have a release date now for Loki.
Yeah, we had Loki and Owen Wilson in that, or we had Owen Wilson in it, right? I don't think Loki was in that after credits. I don't remember anymore. It's a very forgetful movie, apparently.
Yeah, he was in it. He was the Owen Wilson's character Mobius was like, oh, I don't know, he doesn't look that menacing, and then you just have Loki looking dead staring and saying, oh, he is.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading an article that for someone who's done a lot of work with Disney, who says that Kevin Feige's initial plan for Phase 5 and Phase 6 did not have as much Kang in it originally, and they only upped him because of what they saw coming in from Quantumania and stuff like that. And so maybe they can fall back to some plans that they had before, whatever, you know.
Yeah, do they? I know it would have been like, if something works, there's no point in breaking it. And I think that the way that they rolled in Thanos was absolutely fantastic. Like by the time he got there, everyone was expecting a beast, and they delivered a beast, and that's because they just teased us with him. Like we knew he was there. They gave us just that little smirk at the end of Avengers, and then once in a while there'd be a reference or he'd make that brief cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy, and then but they went the wrong way with Kang. They let Ant-Man single-handedly defeat him in his introduction. I think he's done. Like as a character to me, like where do you go from there? What do you do? Have the whole army invade? Like who cares at this point? Who cares?
Yeah, because like I feel like the introduction on Loki with He Who Remains was a better introduction of this multiversal Kang than his performance in Ant-Man, having him be defeated that way. So
Yeah, I don't think anyone ever expected Secret Wars not to be Doom. I mean, Doom, that's not the original Secret Wars they're doing. It's the one that Doom is the big catalyst for, right? The newer one.
I believe so, yeah.
That would be such an easy way to shift from Kang, like to do a little misdirect, make everyone think Kang is going to be the next big bad, and it would wherever you introduce Doom, let it be just stepping on screen and just Doctor Dooming Kang out of the picture for the foreseeable future, and just taking over the mantle and picking up whatever artifact or MacGuffin Kang had that Doom needed to just pick up and run with. But I think Doom, to be honest with you guys, I don't want to see Disney introduce any characters I like at this point. I just want them I want this writer strike just to run off all their what they call talent and be forced to find new people, or recognize the fact with Guardians that when you actually have a qualified creator versus just hiring kids to save money or whatever it is they do, whoever it is they hire, like the wheel is broken over there creatively. I don't want them to do Fantastic Four. I don't want to see their X-Men. I want to wait till we get into we watched Civil War earlier today. When I'm watching, like, this is unrecognizable. It doesn't even look like it's from the same production company. Like, just it's crazy.
I think James Gunn also stated that like his relationship with Marvel is not done. Like he can do both. He stated like he's not tied to one or the other. So that gives me a little bit of hope for like potential with like maybe even Guardians of the Galaxy or characters that he brought over.
I don't picture DC giving him any
Time.
any rope to do anything for Marvel.
And I don't think it's a thing against Marvel. The guy's just too
Yeah,
busy.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be hard to find out. So
Because that takes up a year and a half to 2 years to do those movies.
Yeah, we hadn't even like he'll be working on Superman and like nothing else for a while, and we know right off we know he's like double timing, like doing stuff for Waller. I think he's already written that though. He's not like directing and stuff. He directed the pilot for Peacemaker and he wrote Peacemaker, but he let the show carry itself. And luckily, it was backed by HBO. So you tell them you want this and they'll get it. You know, HBO is known for quality television. Everything might not be your taste, but production wise, the HBO is just for my entire life has been. It's not just TV; it's HBO. That's literally their slogan. But speaking of that, we're coming up on the merger for HBO and Discovery and all that. The app update is coming real soon at the end of this month. They're going to be celebrating it.
Tuesday.
Yeah, that's even sooner than the end of the month.
What else is going to happen on Tuesday?
Shazam! Fury of the Gods will be launching on the day that Max is upgraded, and it is
What else
in fact
is happening on Tuesday?
New DC books.
Yeah. What else is? I have read multiple reports that Flash tickets
the Flash tickets are going on
Tuesday.
sale. Yes. Yeah. Tuesday's going to be a big day, and again, with what HBO is doing is since HBO Discovery merger occurred, they're taking all their streaming services because every channel out there has an app, has a streaming service. They're not all Netflix or HBO size or anything like that, but just where you can go and watch their television shows, like how CW does, A&E does, everyone does. They're taking all of that stuff and compacting it into one home, one umbrella, one thing to manage, one thing to keep up with, and they're simply calling it Max. That way they take away any kind of adult content connotation that comes with HBO. We're going to make sure people know that's where HBO stock is, but it's going to be all-encompassing. And it's going to change from purple to blue. So they're taking blue from Disney, apparently. Bold move. I like the purple, to be honest with you guys. It's my second favorite color.
Yeah, it's my favorite color.
Now they just need to bring the Max to Canada. So
they really do. And I think that'll be one thing. Like they've got to recognize. Like I don't know what kind of problems or hangups or holdups happen with that kind of stuff, but like the DC Universe app, that's not international, is it yet?
DC, I have the DC app.
Okay, I know that wasn't available anywhere but in the U.S. for a long time.
Yeah, because like even with shows like when they had like the app and then they had the DC shows on, like we couldn't watch them in Canada. Even with like Titans dropping on the DC app, it would take a year before it would drop on Netflix in Canada.
But do you have the DC Universe? Can you read DC Comics on the app?
Yeah, like the paid app and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I can do that. We used to not be able to, so they're slowly integrating it into. Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, the only way that we can actually watch it is through another platform called Crave. Mm-hmm. That costs extra, and then it doesn't give you everything that the Max has, so you're getting like half the product.
What a surprise!
What a surprise! What's up, CJ? How dare they conveniently put everything under one umbrella? The audacity of them. Let's talk something.
It's more of the name. The name sucks.
You should appreciate this, CJ, because everything for DC, everything for Warner Brothers will be right at your fingers.
Oh yeah, perfect. A little pun. Yeah, so that's actually the whole HBO Max thing. The whole platform is actually doing good. They've been reporting growth in their numbers and stuff, and they're doing this whole thing, bringing everything in. They're got a bunch of big announcements. It's actually a decent time for them. They're not like setting records or anything like that, but it looks promising. It's all good news coming from their end. Switch to the other side. This is where the bad news of the show comes in, and it's for, unfortunately, the House of Mouse. They continue just to take loss after loss this year. They had their little report come in. I think we touched on they lost over 4 million more subscribers. They lost an entire country's market with India with the streaming service. They're closing down their Starship Hotel thing or whatever it's called.
Galactic Cruiser.
It cost them over $2 billion to make, and it didn't even say open a year and a half, and they're shutting it down.
Could be because it costs almost $2,500 per person per night.
Yeah, it's no less because you have to. It's like you have to do 2 nights. You can't do more.
Right.
You can't do less. You have to do 2 nights, and it's $5,000 for 2 people.
Hmm.
So that was like, and the whole thing is themed on the sequel trilogies. The whole experience is based on the sequel. So this was, I think Tyler said it best when it just shows you that Disney has their finger nowhere near the pulse of the Star Wars fandom, just like pretty much with anything that they've bought and picked up and tried to run with. But they're losing their ass on this big time. The last little weekend open will be in September for it, and it's done. On top of that, it was announced that the investors for the Disney Plus app, because where Bob Chapek smeared the numbers and lied completely on the data that he was providing them to make investment decisions, they're coming for him. They're
Hmm.
brought legal action against the House of Mouse over that because by 2024 it was supposed to be a profitable app with the data that they provided, and now it's actually running in the opposite direction of profitable. So now they're getting massive lawsuits coming up against them. And then on top of that, they're deleting tons and tons of stock off of not just Disney Plus, but off of Hulu as well, as an attempt to not have to pay residuals and stuff like that to any of the people in specific contracts that have projects on there. So they are bleeding money and having to cut stuff left and right and prepare for the worst. And it's speculated that they're probably going to merge Hulu and Disney Plus as well to look for another cost saving method. And on top of all of that, they announced that the next upcoming Marvel show, which is Echo, the Hawkeye spinoff of a Daredevil character that was premiered on Disney Plus, is now coming soon. They're going to drop it in a binge format because it was leaked under Kevin Feige accidentally said the show's unwatchable, and they know it. So they're going to use this show that's not going to keep viewers, not going to bring subscribers, to test run the binge thing and see if they can just get people to jump on for that watch this month and try out the
Right.
Netflix way.
Plus, they figure if people might be more likely to binge episodes in a row than if they after the first one they absolutely hate it and don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
So they're figuring, why don't we give everybody just a massive heart attack about this instead of a little heart attack every week?
Yeah. And that also, it really does help them because you have I would probably watch the whole show, because it's not hard just to hit an episode here and there. But with it binging, for me, I don't think I'm going to be able to sit there and watch all of it in a week kind of thing, like a lot of
Right.
people are going to attempt to do. And then the spoilers get out and all that. So I like the weekly format, but I do get it if you're trying to draw in a crowd and retain an audience and the show doesn't deliver. It's not going to do that. They know it. They can at least try to get the runtime out of viewers by binging it. Like, you already
Yeah.
started watching it, you have the whole 8 episodes or whatever, might as well just finish it.
See, I think they're doing it because they're anticipating such bad press that they would rather just get it all out there, get the bad press done. With news cycles, when in another 2 or 3 weeks, people won't be talking about it anymore. As opposed to if you're every week putting on a bad episode, it's going to just prolong
Yeah, they
the
just
bad
drugged
press.
themselves through the mud with countless shows in the past
Hmm.
2 years.
Hmm.
Yeah. So House of Mouse is in a very weird position right now. And if this doesn't slap sense into him, I honestly don't know what will. Don't know what will.
Also, this was a show that nobody was asking for.
It really wasn't. And that's okay to make stuff like that. Guardians is a testament. It's okay to make stuff no one was asking for, but it has to be good. And the thing with Echo is we've already got Echo. We didn't ask for her and you gave her to us,
Hmm.
and no one cared. She wasn't good. She wasn't bad. But, let's give them a show on Echo. Why? And in all sincerity, it sounds petty, but you know why. She's like it's a female. She's Native American. She's disabled. And that's Disney's thing. They want to just prop these people up to make people think we're good people, and they don't put quality into it.
Yeah, but it's the same thing with was anybody really clamoring for an Agatha series?
No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And if they go through with that, I couldn't believe that'd be the dumbest move in the world. House of Mouse is becoming the House of Pain. Absolutely. What is going on, Comic Vet? How are you doing tonight, brother? Be sure to check out his channel. He posted his top picks video for this week earlier today. Him and I send you guys our number one anticipated book of the week that posts on his channel every Sunday. I don't care for binging. My breath fogs up the windows after a while, and the neighbors realize I'm outside watching with them. So yeah, I definitely plan on watching Shazam: Fury of the Gods 2 again. Kyle didn't get to watch it. Me and my oldest went because of schedule stuff. So I'm looking forward to sitting down and watching that with her. It most certainly was not the best superhero movie out there, but it was kind of delightful. I wasn't blown away by the first one. I was surprised it did as good as it did. I'm not too big of a. I've said it 1,000 times. I'm not too big of a fan of the Kitty Captain Marvel stuff, which that's why this Mark Waid run's got me excited. What is going on, Flash 6792? Robert here posted a fantastic video organizing his collection. When I say organizing, he pulls the whole thing out, like puts tables out in the house, like spreads it all out, and just goes through bagging and boarding and filing everything. He's like pulling mega keys just to show off while he's doing it. And it's like a time lapse thing. It was really cool. It was really cool. Definitely worth checking out. Let me take a look at my Instagram if it's working now. See if there's anything else I missed. Y'all got anything else news related?
Yeah. On the note of Star Wars, Dave Filoni, for his movie, they might have. It's not confirmed, but they're stating that they might have a title for his movie now.
Now, what is this movie you speak of? Like, I have no context to this at all.
Star Wars, like, were impressed with Dave Filoni that they were like, okay, now you're going to get your own movie. You're going to be able to direct your own movie, write your own movie, and that. And what did they think that the name is, Paul?
Well, it's going to bring in Ahsoka Tano and the Mandalorian, and Boba Fett is supposed to wrap up all of their.
Oh, that movie?
Yeah, and the title supposedly is Heir to the Empire, which everyone should be very familiar with.
So Luke's coming back.
You never know.
I hope so. My God, that was like the greatest moment in Star Wars history when they brought Luke into the Mandalorian. Like, I just had tears running down my face for that whole scene from the time the X went. Like that was well done. And then they give us season 3. What the hell?
And just think that it's going to be a lot better CGI and de-aging because it'll be a movie, not a TV show, so they'll have a bigger budget.
Tell that to Henry Cavill's mustache. Not all disabled Native American women are good people. Echo's a freaking ex-assassin. That's valid. That's super valid. All right, so I just went and looked at my Instagram, and apparently there was a lot of more stuff to talk about. Let me see if I can pull this up. Boom. Here it is. That's what I'm excited for. That's what I'm talking about. For those that don't know, Arnold is back, and it's just as badass as ever. Brand new Netflix original show called Fubar starts the 25th. That's right, this Thursday. And because it's Netflix, they do the binge style stuff. So what it is, it's an action comedy about a retired CIA operative who gets called in to go bail out another CIA operative. And when he shows up to save this mysterious operative, turns out it's his daughter. So it's like the funny misadventures of dad and daughter, action comedy style. I am 10 toes down, 2 thumbs way up, over the top excited for this. I love Arnold. This is awesome. It just looks hilarious. And someone even said in one thing, this is like somehow the spirited sequel to True Lies. Like, what happens to him? How do you play out the tape with his True Lies character? So, dude, this is about to be a blast. This is about to be super fun right here. Yeah, I cannot wait for this. Yeah, it does look good. It looks hilarious. Arnold's awesome. He never gets old in my book. See, and then in worse news, the partial embargo for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was lifted. They lifted this embargo about a month out from the release. They were confident in this movie, despite the overbloated budget with almost reshooting the whole film, but having a competent, successful director behind the helm. They released the embargo, and the critics do not like it, not at all. It's coming in at 52%, and that's with a lot of people, I think, slanting positive with lower reviews. Started out at 30-something% when it first lifted, so it's come up a little bit. And yeah, this is rough.
How many? 29 reviews? Is that what that says?
When I posted that was at 29 reviews, and I posted that I think yesterday.
Yeah. I know.
So the way that these reviews work is these initial reviews are always the peak. This is the peak. Right. These are the shills for the project. These are the people that get their Access Hollywood special treatment, and they're trying not to lose that special treatment. So the only thing that's going to happen when this comes out is it's going to go down, unfortunately.
Right. They said that he got a 5 minute standing ovation, which made it sound good, but apparently that's like one of the shortest standing ovations that they give.
Oh wow, it's mandatory.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when they all sit up, start clapping, and think, "When can I sit down?" And they're all just looking at each
Exactly.
other.
They're clapping because it's over, not for him.
Last action hero meets True Lies. Yes, exactly. Bye-bye, Kathy K. Kathleen Kennedy's not going anywhere, unfortunately. I don't understand how that woman still has a job, much less the job that she does have. It makes zero sense. Zero. But this is the proof positive again. I mean, this is early to tell, and everyone's going to have their own different opinion, but our individual opinions don't necessarily matter to the studio as much as the group conscious, the general public consensus, because the consensus is what pays the bills, what gets them paid, what gets them to hire people to do another one and to carry or continue a franchise. And this is now the MCU is going to trash. That's not getting the returns. You have Star Wars is a mixed bag. And now the Indiana Jones franchise. Seems like they just should stop buying franchises and looking for layups and just go back to creating their own original stuff. Journey says it's going to end up at about 65. I'm thinking it's going to end up at about 42. Write it down. CJ's got 65. I got 42. Just because historically that's how it works. These Access Hollywood reviewers are the highest you get. It only ever goes down. But that's me talking about the critic score. The audience is a whole different thing. I do plan on going to see it. I love the Indiana Jones movies. I even have fun watching The Crystal Skull. I don't think it's a good movie, but I watch it. People at Cannes were supposedly bored and talking amongst themselves during the screening. Yeah, they were talking to each other and on their phones and everything. What is going on, Brother John's Comicx is in the building. How are you? Feeling like warm garbage, so just saying hi and we'll rewatch in the morning. Dude, I hope you feel better. If you need anything, I know it sounds cliche, but please do not hesitate to reach out if you need anything at all.
I just checked. It's at 50 right now. Did you already see that?
I did not. I hadn't
It's
checked
at
it.
50 now.
So it's already at 50. It's already down since the initial.
Mm-hmm. With only one more review. So how bad was that?
Yeah, that was a rough
2 points with only one more review.
Damn, Kennedy's ruining everything. Absolutely. And don't forget Willow. There's another one like that. And that one is on the delete list. Willow's being deleted.
They're taking that off of Disney Plus like as fast as they can.
Yeah. Whew. We don't have to go into toy conversation.
Superman and Lois. I mean, we haven't talked about it, but we'll talk about the episodes later, I'm sure. But
we go for it.
Supposedly, they are going to go with a cliffhanger, even though they have no idea if they're going to get season 4.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Don't do that. They need a Jeff Johns it. He filmed 2 endings to Stargirl because he cares about his fans.
Right.
The thing is, like, I think people riot if Superman and Lois is canceled. It's too good of a show to be canceled. But I know I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to separate themselves away from doing superhero stuff, and that's a shitty thing because like there's a show called The Librarians that is potentially getting, and they're going to bring that back, and that which is like it was an all-rate show. CG was not that great. Like it was kind of low budget kind of show. So I'd rather them continue with Superman and Lois than bring that back, even though it was a great show. I enjoyed The Librarians.
I know there are some rumbles about potentially moving Superman and Lois over to HBO Max. I mean, for something like HBO Max to take on something like Superman and Lois, I mean, that seems like a layup for them with what they normally do budgetarily and stuff like that. But if they do a legit cliffhanger, they need to go to hell because for the last season, for season 2, they didn't even do a cliffhanger. It looked like it could have stopped there or could have kept going. They did the little mention, like with John Henry Irons, about when Diggle came to see him. Not the John Diggle from the Arrowverse, but the John Diggle from this universe who's not Spartan or nothing like that. He's just an op. And he comes in just to ask if he wanted to help investigate Bruno Mannheim, who killed John Henry Irons on this world. And I mean, like, if they never touched on that ever again, it wouldn't have mattered. You know, it didn't have to do with Superman or Jordan or Jonathan or Lois. You know, they use one of their side characters, but they better not give us no big cliffhanger. I remember the days of Smallville where the season finale, the first episode of the next season was one connected episode. Like, it wasn't even a cliffhanger. It was just cut right in the middle. Remember the tornado coming through? Like, yo, you're just gonna leave us here? What?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
What? It was like that with the Flash for a while too.
Right.
I don't know if it stayed like that. What is going on? Kenneth Bird, Commieverse is in the building. How are y'all doing tonight? But yeah, Superman. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, speaking of the Flash, forget the actor's name, but he played Cisco Ramon, the Vibe. He will not be returning for the ending of the Flash, which is very, very sad. Mm-hmm. That was also revealed this week.
Has he not been in the show for a while?
No, and I remember hearing, like, because when Kevin Smith was directing on the show and that a few times, he sat down with the guy and he felt sad to be there because he was away from his family for so long, and he wanted to distance himself because he always had to travel to Canada to be on the show. And then he was very young when he started. I think he was like 18, 19. And then he was like 23, and then sitting with Kevin Smith saying, like, I've wasted, like, not wasted, but like I've been away from my family for 4 years, and now I'm almost like I'm in my mid-20s now and stuff. Like I want to be with my family. I don't want to be away from them. And I think he was just depressed from being like homesick and stuff. And a lot of his time was spent in Canada and away from everybody.
Yeah, I can understand that. And we have a hashtag Weeniolus. A hashtag Weeniolus.
Weeniolus, I think, yeah.
That is all. Superman and Lois, though.
Yeah.
But I'm caught up on it. There wasn't an episode this week.
No.
And I think y'all mentioned that last week. So I'm all caught up, and I figured out that it's not good to have to watch more than one episode at a time, because this season is emotional heavy. Like it is damaging. Like I don't know if it's having kids like wrecked me, but like I'm a softie for stuff these days anymore. And this was a tough 2 hours to sit through, especially that second hour. But like y'all mentioned last week, there are some major reveals in this, a couple of plot twists, and really moved the needle forward in a lot of different ways. And it also made me realize one more kind of character structure type that I didn't really notice before, but I guess we're just kind of moving into it with Lois's dad. How we talked about how with Clark and Lois, you have like the married family, children, household. With John Henry, you have like the widower trying to raise a daughter single. With Lana and Kyle, you have the divorced family. But then with General Lane, you have the older single guy trying to get back out there and trying to not just recluse themselves. So like we have like 4 completely different family dynamic styles that they're exploring in depth even. And it doesn't feel bloated or complex or rushed. It's so smooth. It just goes to Allison Mack, the Flash. Can we mention Kevin Smith moving forward?
I said not. I can't guarantee that, CJ.
Yeah, right. No promises from our power bottom down here.
Yeah.
So is there anything that y'all want to say? Yeah. So big reveal. Like I know that they haven't given the character a specific name. I know people were speculating Onomatopoeia was the character because the way that the mask looked. But is it can we confirm now that this is this show's version of Silver Banshee?
No, because her name is Pia. That's her name.
I know that makes sense, but still, they do like these weird mashups.
I'm sorry, I'm making sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but Onomatopoeia has no abilities, has no powers like this. Doesn't talk. It's the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's onomatopoeia. Like I feel like they changed around the character just enough that they can't be like, Kevin Smith, we're using your character. See, CJ, I'm sorry, I had to.
You got pulled right out of the game. As soon as he asked you not to, you went and used it.
So without having to say like, oh, we're going to use your character in this, and as much as I know about onomatopoeia, like he would make the noises of like a gun, right. Like he would be able to change his voice and stuff. So like this character can kind of do the same thing with like mimicking other people's voices, as we've seen with her pretending to be Lex Luthor when the FBI or the CIA was listening in on their conversations and that, and yeah, she said they're the reason why Lex Luthor is in jail.
But she definitely has Silver Banshee powers to be.
Yeah, especially when she was rocking without the mask on, fighting John Henry Irons, and she was sitting there yelling. Do you see what color her veins were turning?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they're doing it on purpose, because that's one thing like we've talked about with this show, even back in the earlier seasons before this one. They do a great job with their villains, making them familiar Superman rogues, but taking a new twist on them. That way they can still surprise us. Like they introduced Bizarro in a Doomsday costume coming out of the Earth. Like I'm like, yo, what a swerve. So I'm still going with this as a mashup. Like it's clearly onomatopoeia. Like they like you said, like they call her name's Pia. But I think that they added, like, why would they even sit there and show you the silver veins with her screaming?
We can call her Anamana Banshee if you want to.
Anamana, well, yeah, that sounds better than Banshee Pia.
And then we get the reveal.
The Silver Pia.
Silver Pia. Oh, my God. That's better than Golden Shower, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
It was a different sight though to see Mannheim and her, and then you have I forget her name now. You have John Henry Irons' daughter, with their son, and that I didn't think that they're. See, I thought he was up to like in on it, and that like he was like asked by his parents to get close to her, because it just felt weird at first when he came all the way from Metropolis to Smallville to find her and stuff. Like he kind of seemed forced, like he was forcing his way into her life. And then I guess I was wrong. It was all just he just didn't liked her.
Yeah,
I'm usually bad at like guessing reveals, but when Mateo was talking to John Henry after the movie, I said to myself, wouldn't it be cool if Mannheim was his father? That would tie all the stories together almost.
Yeah, Kyle called that at the party when they met. She's like, that's going to be that bad guy's kid, I bet. But she watches a lot of CW stuff. The big fight happened when you had Nat go out to dinner and meet Mateo's parents, Mannheim and Pia. And John Henry finds out inadvertently that he knew she was going on the date, had no clue that Mannheim was her dad until he gets told the restaurant that they're at is Mannheim Stronghold kind of thing. So he rushes there and just his civvies and just walks into the lion's den, puts himself at the end of about 8 different guns. And Mannheim just says, get my kid out of here. This guy's got to die kind of thing. He told you if I ever see you again, you're going to be gone. And John Henry's just kind of not even moving. And then Mannheim remembers how tough this Joker really is, and it just clicks. He just screams, "The suit!" And about that time, John Henry Irons' suit comes busting through the wall, and Silver Pia just steps up and just screams and tries to get him. And the suit comes down and just puts its arm out, and it's just standing in front of the blast, and John Henry's behind it. It was this dope scene that as soon as it failed, like he's behind it, and he just runs into it, just takes off. Like, dude, the shots with him suiting up in the season are amazing. Like, it's tough as nails. Tough as nails. Yeah,
big change for her though, because she was like against him fighting in that, and then she jumps in and then goes all out at the end, to the point where Mannheim just shifts his view and just like sees her just suffering, and that, and like literally teams up with Superman at the end to get her out of there, get her into the hospital.
Yeah, he accepts the harsh reality that he can't get her there quicker than Superman can. The dude legitimately loves his wife. Like, he's a piece of crap. Like, he's a murderer. He's a criminal on every level. But, I mean, that's his Achilles heel is his wife, apparently. The dynamic with Superman and Lois just continues just to break your heart. With Clark and Lois, I should say. Lois is going through the different stages of emotions that one could only. I can't even imagine how the writers got this information. Like, the people that they must have spoke to, this feels so real world. the conversations that you have in the moments, having to deal with going through treatment for cancer and the different moods and getting your affairs in order, and your kids finding out that you're getting your affairs in order and how that affects them and how they take that at face value because you're not communicating all these emotions every step of the way with them. And then Clark going through the denial phases after Lois is on board. It's crazy imagining how hard it must be to get an entire family in sync and on the same page and to an agreed upon understanding of like each other's feelings and the facts and everything. It seems scary, like legitimately scary as hell to be in any of their shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the scenes between the opening, Shield that they show every week. The last couple ones have been really really tough to watch.
Yeah, the most recent episode starts out with like the music playing and just kind of like semi slow motion, and it's just Clark carrying Lois inside the house, through the house, up the stairs, down the hall, into the bedroom to lay her down because she's too weak to walk. And you're watching the most powerful being in the entire universe carrying his wife to bed to lay her down because he's powerless to do anything to help her. And it just hits. It hits on such a huge level.
We also got a name drop for first time. I think it's the first time it's ever been said. Superboy,
Yeah.
because now he's getting noticed, and that because from the captain of the fire department.
Yeah, Kyle, Lana's ex-husband. But yeah, it's been solid. I'm excited for the next one. I don't know what episode we're up to. We got to be up to like episode 7 or 8 or something like that by now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Also, Bizarro woke up.
That's right. Bizarro's come back. Yeah, we just finished episode 8. So we'll see where it goes from there. But we're right at an hour into the show. Y'all want to dive into some comics? This was a massive week. Massive week. Y'all got anything else you want to touch on before? All right, well, real quick to a couple of these comments. CW shows often start strong but get worn down after 3 or 4 seasons. I completely agree. I agree when it comes in terms of the Arrowverse stuff. Stargirl ran a 10 out of 10 every season, and it was just a victim of the changing up of everything with the company. Superman and Lois is running a 10 out of 10, and somehow is only getting better. I would give each. I'd say they're running at like a 9 out of 10. Like they're like legitimate score. This is not normal CW Arrowverse stuff at all. If you think you have an idea about it and you haven't watched it, you legitimately don't. Like I would have been wrong as hell to assume that this was just another CW thing. It is not. It is.
I could literally see the like cliffhanger being like something to do with Lex, considering it's all revealed that he was not behind whatever happened in that. He might actually be released from prison, so it could be that.
We'll see.
Yeah, and Superman and Lois. I mean, to your point, it's not just the story either. It's the special effects. It's all, everything seems to be on a different level than what CW is kind of used to doing.
Yeah, keep in mind they've canceled everything else. Like the Arrowverse is done. The Arrowverse stuff is done. This is not Arrowverse. And it's like they're able to put more eggs into the basket. They realize that they can't have a successful show keeping that same mold. It is not the teen angst Riverdale superhero stuff. It's definitely a horse of a different color. And I'm most definitely excited about Steel. Like if you watched it, you would be too. Like it's easy to get invested in these characters. It's proper storytelling. But I'm going to go through the list of books I got for this week, and y'all see which ones y'all want to hit on. We got Superman #4 from Joshua Williams, Flash 799 from Jeremy Adams, Hulk Annual #1 with the first taste of Philip Kennedy Johnson in it, Batman the Brave and the Bold #1, as well as Wonder Woman 799, and I think I've got Black Adam #11. So these are the ones I was going to do for my DC Day giveaway, but I got my books late this week. So if you haven't checked out my video from last Tuesday, go over there. Drop a comment on the video. Make sure you leave the hashtag #WeAreLegion. I'll pull a winner from the comments in that video this coming Tuesday. So I'll do my live giveaway Tuesday, but I'll also give these away. So there'll be 2 giveaways. But I grabbed all of those. The DC Primer, free comic this week. Dawn of DC Primer. Fire. Titans #1 I picked up. I got more copies of the Black Adam one because they're the Jane covers. I always buy multiple Jane Direct covers to put in the giveaway stuff. World's Finest 15, another copy of Black Adam. Power Rangers 108, and Danny Ketch Ghost Rider #1, which I haven't got to yet. So if y'all are planning on reviewing Power Rangers or Ghost Rider, I'm not prepared.
Since we were
Yeah, that would not be me. Although you would be surprised that I actually did pick up the New Avengers.
Oh,
Avengers
nice.
#1.
Floating head cover, too.
What's that?
A floating head cover, too.
Yeah, it's the Mark Brooks floating
Nice.
head cover. This is volume 9. That's how many times they've had an Avengers #1.
And he's only talking about in the last 5 years.
Since you're talking about Silver Banshee, why don't we talk about Superman?
Go ahead.
There you go.
Issue #4.
We start off with Silver Banshee just in the kitchen being herself and that, and then you have Dr. Farmer just claw through the door with like multiple different colors of kryptonite. And now we know for a fact that kryptonite does have an effect on metahumans, and that it reduces their power, and that it will take their power away, and that. So we start off with that, and we lead into literally Lex in the jail, and how he literally, like, somebody was talking about who can get the upper hand on Superman. Oh, it'd be Batman and stuff. So he ends up flicking a peanut into Buddy's mouth, nearly kills him. You have Superman later on saying, "How did you know he had a peanut allergy?"
Yeah.
So it was a great little.
All while just sitting under a tree reading a book.
Yeah. So it's, and then they go back and forth saying, like, how can I trust you in that you're not even like telling me everything that I need to know about these certain people. And then we get like a flashback of Lex when he was younger, and that, and how he came across these two people, these two brothers. One is Dr. Pharma, and I forget the other person's name right now. And how he tried to spoil their makings. And then you have Superman literally figure out where they're going to be, bust in. At this time, you have, like, he's working with Lex, so Lex is in his head and stuff. Like, they have the little microphone or little whatever he has, the earpiece, and he's talking to him. He's like, "Oh, get out of there," because, like, you have the Phantom projector. Like, they've been working on that and trying to figure it out and stuff. Then you have Banshee coming through and saying, "Sorry, they're making me do this and stuff. I can't." The reveal at the end, though, of how he's going to stop her, and then you have Jimmy, like, because I thought that was really weird at first. Like, why are you skipping to Lois and why am I bad with names right now? I know this, Jimmy Olsen, and I was just like, why are you going to these guys right now? It's like they had nothing to do with the story, and that it's just like a throwaway for a second. Then you come to find out that Jimmy Olsen and Silver Banshee are in love.
He loves
it was a solid issue. I do like the little flashback sequence because it was Lex trying to gain some kind of favor with Superman, and anything that comes out of his mouth, you can't trust it. You pretty much got to understand there's a swerve involved in it. But he was trying to make it out like when he first came to Metropolis, he was full of high hopes and ambition and sunlight in his eyes kind of thing. And he noticed these cruddy individuals, Dr. Farm, taking up the homeless people to run experiments on him and stuff. So he stepped in as a superhero, with no powers trying to stop him. And just over the years got disheartened and became the man he was today. So he was trying to show Superman, like, we're not so different after all. When it all comes down to it, I only want to see this city saved. And Superman's like, you're for the birds, bro. Like, I'm not believing none of this, you psychopath. But
he made a statement. He's just like, it's like, I know you well enough. It's the stuff that you're not telling me.
Exactly. That was such a great line. Yes. It was
I love this. I love this issue. I'm interested to see, because we only got a small portion of what Dr. Pharma can do with those claws, and like what it's
Yeah, we already know that he's augmenting metahumans. We saw what he did to Parasite, with their first little arc. Now he's tampering with Silver Banshee, controlling her and enhancing her powers with the Kryptonite. And Kryptonite has a long history of messing with people and stuff like that. So it's cool getting to see him do it to these other characters. And we know he's already experimenting on Bizarro. They've been rolling with that. And we know from the Big Time Collectibles exclusive, they had the Bizarro purple foil for this cover as well. So big things are obviously coming with that character. So yeah, all the Dawn of DC Superman stuff has been fire. The artwork in this is absolutely next level with Jamal Campbell's artwork. I love the way that he drew the little pill heads like Dr. Farm's henchmen. That was a cool touch for the character. It feels like a modern day animated show. Like the stylization of the artwork, how dynamic the panel to panel motion is and everything. It's just the colors are so vibrant. It's just a fun experience with this comic. Paul, what'd you think? Solid, not solid, throw it away.
No, it was definitely no. It was definitely a solid issue. What do
Like,
you?
what? No.
It Joshua Williamson is creating his own little world within Superman, and something else that came out this particular week was, now that you mention it, is he is building towards a huge Superman crossover in 2024. In August, they're having an Action Comics Doomsday special that they're putting out, and the Superman Annual 2023 is going to be out. And those are supposedly the things that the 2024 crossover is going to springboard from. So they're they're all in on Superman, and I couldn't be happier.
Absolutely. Well, rolling with the Superman punches. Did either of y'all read World's Finest number 15?
I did not get a chance to read that.
In a nutshell, Simon Stagg was murdered. Batman, well, not Batman, but Bruce Wayne is suspect number 1. So he's out at the investigation. He's got the investigative eyes watching him. So it's up to Superman, Robin, and guest star Metamorpho to solve the case. They've been tracking it back to Dr. Ivo, the scientist who creates Amazo, the android that has the abilities of the Justice League. Well, they run into this character, Ultra Morpho, at the end of the last issue. It's Amazo, but with the powers of Metamorpho, so he can change into the different elements, including Kryptonite. So you get an awesome battle in this one. And they were also looking for Dr. Magnus. He was another person they were after, the guy who created the Metal Men. He was missing. The Metal Men looked like they had been smelted down into liquid in the last issue. So in this issue, Batman ends up popping up in the battle wearing a metal suit made out of all the Metal Men and jumps in on the battle and everything. And the fight continues, but it was an action-packed, really badass issue. Mark Waid is writing a fun story full of guest appearances all along the way. And if you like Dan Mora's art, this is a book that you cannot miss. It's super fun. What else you got over there, Paul?
On the Titans.
It's already in my hand.
There you go.
Tom Taylor's back with another title. This is the complete creative team behind Nightwing altogether, isn't it?
No.
No.
Nicola Scott. It was basically Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo are the two that are doing Nightwing.
Okay, Bruno Redondo and Nicola Scott. Yeah, Nicola Scott's been around a while.
Yeah.
Nicola Scott is one of my new favorite. Like after reading, looking through the art in this freaking book is unbelievable. So I maybe go down a rabbit hole to see what other work she's done. She did the pencil work for Earth 2.
Yeah, I learned that after the fact. Yeah.
Yep. Way back, she did Gail Simone's Secret Six. That was one of the first things that she did. And then she did, and I still don't know the name of the person who did it, but he wrote Wonder Woman in Rebirth. She was doing every other issue with Liam Sharp. She did the art when Wonder Woman Rebirth started. But the Titans we've been promised that they are going to be the premier group in for the foreseeable future. Although we do know that some form of the Justice League is coming back later on this year. We don't know what that will look like. But we have the Titans basically, and we have what seems to be a new. I don't know if it's call it a new power, but we have Gar turning into this huge almost Godzilla-like um, uh, creature to take on a massive, huge gorilla. It almost becomes like a Godzilla versus King Kong type of a thing.
It
Um,
showed up out of
because
nowhere.
exactly, he takes on Titano. Um, but we get some story with him and Raven are getting closer through it as well. We see some dialogue with Tempest. They invite Tempest to join the team. He says basically he's not concerned. He doesn't really care about joining the team. He's more concerned with the ocean. He basically tells them, he's going to do his own thing with somebody else who we have been. Tom Taylor has said that he's not, although there were some clues left that maybe this is going to turn into something else. Tom Taylor has said that Tempest adventures are not going to continue in Titans, but there have been rumors of an Aquaman book coming on later on, and that may be where this is going. Yeah. But basically, Tempest says basically, good luck with your 29% of the world. I'll take care of the other part, the other 71%.
I have an idea who he might be working with, considering who approached them later on down the road,
Hmm.
who approached the Titans and that. But like, I love how it started too, because
Say who it was. It's a big
No,
deal who it was.
it's the linchpin of the DC universe, basically.
It was Peacemaker that approached him.
Peacemaker. Yeah. Yeah, but the main story of the main story of the book is there is now a dead Titan. It starts off literally with a bang, with Wally West being shot through the heart from behind, and it basically ends with the Titans finding Wally's body, laying in the middle of Titan's Tower, with this all over the screens. It says "Solve it," and we see. Nightwing now saying that the Titans Tower is now a crime scene, and that's where we'll pick up in issue number 2.
It was a good issue. It was a good place setter. We kind of went through the characters, just get a good little dynamic to them. It was cool seeing Cyborg again in a more familiar Cyborg style than just all made of metal. And another book I didn't pick up physically, but I did read was Cyborg #1, which was really solid this week as well. That kind of just gets more into that character. Obviously, it's kind of like the homecoming for the character that book was. But yeah, I enjoyed Titans a lot. It was good. I'm excited for a good Titans book. That last run was not it. But to Phil's question, John Kent is a major recommendation for me. Major. That book has got it going on right now. And I would just jump into this current one because they kind of did like the miniseries thing with that too. They ran, I think it was 18 issues of Superman. What was it? Son of Kal-El. Because that had to take place of the regular Superman title while Clark was on War World. And now they're doing the Dawn of DC 6-issue thing with it. And it is ridiculously good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. What is going on, Dope Comics? How are you doing? House of L Comics is in the chat now. What's up? What's up? But you mentioned Peacemaker, who's already now appeared in Doom Patrol. He popped up in the pages of Titans. He was in something else recently.
He was just in that DC primer.
Yeah, I was thinking other than that.
His own miniseries.
It had nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anything else that he's been in.
He was in Green Arrow.
There it is. Yeah, he made the cover of Green Arrow even.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that Peacemaker is so important, but it's who he's working for. And it's what we've been saying for a while with all these events and stuff. And I've been pointing out ever since the finale of the last Suicide Squad run, Amanda Waller is the biggest threat in the DC universe right now. The original or the most recent Teen Titans run and Suicide Squad run finished with an event called War for Earth 3. Rick Flag had his own team of squad members. The Titans, the Flash family, they were all trying to shut down Waller and what she was doing, and they did not succeed. She completely got her mission achieved. She took over Earth 3. She has her own Justice League, the whole crime syndicate working for her, and her own set of operatives that she's built out from the entire multiverse. And she's set up on Earth 3. And they've been teasing her. They started teasing her with Dark Crisis. They reminded us all that she was there. We got a little glimpse of it in Lazarus Planet. And now we're back in full force. Now, if you weren't paying attention to all those titles, now you know. Now you know what's been going on. And that's why Peacemaker is everywhere right now, because they're building up the actual next big event. Because this whole Night Terrors thing is kind of like another Lazarus Planet. it's not a normal summer blockbuster event here where you have like a 7-issue series and it ties into stuff. It's just like a little. It's gonna be tapping on all the titles and be a bookended kind of thing. So it's not a typical event. It's just, I guess they just had to do something, and it just takes more time to build this out. But this right here, though, this was free, and it was probably my read of the week. This was dope.
It's very essential. Like, and like I like even Nick the comic nerd was live earlier today, and he's just like, oh, I didn't realize. I thought it was just like a preview of what's to come. No, it's an actual story, and it's setting up what Waller is up to, and like it's gonna explains a lot of why Peacemaker is everywhere all at once right now.
Yeah. James Gunn has actually said in tweets and things like that he has absolutely no sway over anything that happens in the comics.
Yeah, but this has been being built out since before.
If you're in the comics and you look and see what he's doing, what James Gunn is doing, then you definitely say, "Hey, I want part of that."
Oh, that's another thing with the big news. They're killing Kamala Khan next week in Spider-Man. Spoiler alert! It's a spoiler show. It's been in the news everywhere. That's the big thing everyone's waiting for in Spider-Man: the death of Kamala Khan. People are annoyed by how petty this is. They're killing her to put her in the press just so they can bring her back and time it with the movie coming out. Probably retcon her powers to match that of the movie. But that's what comics do. You know, like when the Shazam movie was coming out, they were announcing the book that was coming. They try to do stuff. They try to put books out that associate with movie products because that's free advertising for the book. So you always try to do that. But this Amanda Waller thing in the comics has been building for 2 years now. 2 years they've been building this up. So it really started with the Suicide Squad movie, and it's been running. Because you have the Suicide Squad movie, and then Peacemaker, and now so it's just Squad, man, Squad. And there's a brand new Suicide Squad book hitting shelves next week as well. It's the video game prequel. It's called The Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum. I'm looking forward to it. All right, Kyle, have a good night. Yeah, so in the pages of this, you get Amanda Waller riding in the back of her limo with a couple of bodyguards into a back alley, a seedy, dirty place, going to a meeting, and you don't know who she's meeting, but she's on the phone talking to a field agent saying, have you found it yet? Just find it already, blah, blah, blah. Cut to the field agents. You see Peacemaker, Peace Wrecker. It's the new female Peacemaker. And then another character skydiving into a jungle location, and they're moving, looking for it, get into a little shootout, cut back to Amanda. She goes into the meeting, and there's like a room full of villains, including the villain called the Assassin from the pages of Danger Street. And she's basically telling them, you guys, these heroes have been running amok of our world for long enough. It's time to take them out. And the Assassin kind of talks down to her. He's like, are you dumb to walk in this room and try to give us orders? Who are you? Blah, blah, blah. And then you get a little noise in the ear, and it's Peacemaker saying, Waller, I got it. And he picks up this shard of metal off the ground. You find out he's on Lazarus Island. And that shard of metal turns in not to the Helm of Fate, but the
Helmet of Hate.
Helmet of Hate. It's Dr. Fate's helmet. The shard of his helmet formed its own helmet called the Helmet of Hate. He said, I got it. And Waller kind of gives the nod to herself. And the assassin pulls a gun on Waller. She takes it from him and shoots him in the head. Pretty much takes control of the room. Proves why she's like one of the baddest bads, the most dangerous women, dangerous characters in all of DC Comics. And basically tells the room, like, there is a bounty on every superhero's head. I've got cash money for every body you bring me. And you turn the page and you see like a 2-page spread of all the heroes with targets on their head. So Amanda Waller is put a price tag on every hero in the DC universe. She's not playing games.
Right. I read this after I read Titans. Perfect. So I was just like, you know what? Maybe one of these people, like, because she is putting a target on their back. Maybe one of these people shot the Wally West, and
I didn't even put that together.
Yeah. So and the Titans are gonna find out, and then that's Get
the Titans we've had the Justice League versus Suicide Squad, fantastic event they did. We need the Titans versus the Suicide Squad. And my point that I've mentioned, I think on something me and Paul worked on, Rick Flag is still out there. Rick Flag has his own team of ex-squad members that were left hanging by Waller, and he's out for Waller. He's her biggest enemy right now. Like he's under the radar. That's going to be one of those like swerve moments in comics later when Rick Flag pops up and he's what ruins her plans, because Rick Flag has been out for justice, and she keeps getting away by the skin of her teeth from this guy. So when it comes to the Suicide Squad, I don't care what villains are on it. Rick Flag is always my favorite character, and I want him to get his justice. She's never lost. She just doesn't lose. She escapes. That's her thing.
And maybe Tempest is not working with Waller. Maybe Tempest is working with Rick Flag.
That would be dope. That would be super dope. Yeah, that would be awesome. But yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes. More Suicide Squad. That's my answer for anything comic books. More Suicide Squad.
And is there any Suicide Squad books on the horizon? There's none announced yet, eh?
Not yet. Like I said, we have the Suicide Squad Kill Arkham Asylum, which is outside of continuity. They're keeping the rollouts tight. They're giving them to us in piecemeal. Like I heard Paul mention it. You mentioned about the Justice League thing we have coming. Mm-hmm. And that hasn't been officially announced. But if you take that Dawn of DC 2-page spread, where you see the timeline for the year, and you take that and you adjust the contrast on it. You manipulate the color. You can see where they actually had that actual full year lineup, and they added the blacked out features secondary, and you can change the contrast, and you can see where Justice League was set for the last quarter of the year or something like that.
Right. They've only announced up to August, I think. Maybe September now. They have just August. So there's still.
All we're waiting on at this point is Hawkgirl, right? And Penguin.
Yeah, and then they listed Wonder Woman and Flash 800 as part of the Dawn of DC.
Yeah, we're waiting on those. Those were announced early on. Steelworks, yeah.
Tales of the Titans. Which you can find out how Gar got his eye back in Tales of the Titans number 4.
Number 4 of a book that hasn't even been announced yet. That was such a way to announce it.
The first issue doesn't come out until July, so come back at Thanksgiving to find out how he got his eye back.
I still want to know how he separated from Cyborg. Because we haven't even really talked about that, have we? They just that never happened. Yeah, it was good stuff, man. This is such a dope cover, too. I hate that I missed the foil. I'm not sure if my shop got one or not. But because I didn't get my books on Tuesday, they didn't come until Wednesday. Normally I'm at the shop before it opens on Tuesdays, just waiting, to get there. And I wasn't able to go nitpick stuff. I just went and got leftovers Wednesday after work.
I'm wondering if they just didn't ship them yet because I'm on the list to get one of them, and my shop didn't get it with the rest of them either. So
okay, yeah, I feel like if my shop got them, Paul would have been this looks like it's up Mark's alley. Let me ask him. I mean, maybe not, but typically he hits me up hey, you interested in this one? I can't do it with everything, but I don't know. Either y'all pick up the Hulk book in anticipation for Philip Kennedy Johnson's run?
I did. I flipped through it in the store, but it looks like it's nothing that's going to be. It doesn't look. It looks like it's going to be included in issue number 1 of the Hulk.
Yeah,
so I just put it back.
Yeah. So if
it looked like it was going to be separate from that, I would have picked it up just to have it. But it looks like it's just going to be they're reprinting what's going to be in the first issue. So
yeah, well, gorgeous Gary Frank cover. Gary Frank is a part of the dynamic duo, in my opinion, with Jeff Johns. But it was a cool story. It was basically some kids trying to make something of themselves, being journalists and stuff, going to a town that had gamma stuff going on and getting caught up in a mine. And it was just a Hulk fight in a mine. It was fun, though. It was packaged well. It was delivered well. It was an annual, But the pages in the back that lead into the Philip Kennedy Johnson stuff were teasing the villains, this monster society, these men in black that look like they're literally monsters, can mutate into monsters, and we're killing some people. But I'm excited for it. I'm excited to get into this Age of Monsters with the Hulk. It's going to be wicked. It's going to be wicked. They're saying that the Green Door is closed. The Green Door is is how the Gamma mutate characters come back from the dead. So we'll see. That means there's stakes going on again. What is going on, Headquake? Was going to see a movie to end my long work week and ended up getting into a car accident instead. So decided to come home and join the show. Dude, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely hope you're okay. I know you were probably going to go see Fast X. Bad joke.
Too soon, Mark. Too soon.
Too soon. I'm sorry. It's the only thing that was new that was out. But yeah, definitely hope you're okay, brother. I got one more book sitting over here. I missed picking up Superboy somehow. I'm going to pick that one up next week because Kenny Porter's crushing it with that book. Did you read it yet?
Superboy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep.
What happened?
It's more about the Cosmeteers and how they formed and how they kept in the what is it, Dominators, I think it's called too. I'm terrible at recount.
Yeah, the Dominator is the big alien race that does the genetic experimenting and stuff. I saw Fast X on Thursday, wise guy. House of L said it was amazing. My buddy Bart said it was awesome. They said it was extreme over the top fun.
Basically, by the end of the issue, Superboy becomes like a surfer. So,
man, I was praising that book too. Hopefully, what you just said was packaged well.
It was. It really was. I've told you this before. I'm terrible. That's why when we do DC Deep Dive, I always ask you to do the recap because I'm good at adding color to things, but I'm like, and then this happened, and
I'm just good at rambling. You just have to do it with a level of confidence. So, how fun was this?
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of ridiculous, right?
Mm-hmm.
This so long story short, the last few issues of the Flash here. This is the last issue for Jeremy Adams proper. The next issue is issue 800, which is a jam piece. You'll have multiple writers, multiple artists on it, celebrating 800 issues into this Flash run, and then we'll start over at issue number 1 in the Dawn of DC era with Cy Sperrier taking over the writing. But for now, we have the final issues for Jeremy Adams, and I said it before, I'll say it again. He did not mail it in. He delivered a solid Flash story all the way up until the final lap here. And this issue was they're storming the castle. Granny Goodness has Wally's kid, his brand new baby, Wade. And Wally has a band of hodgepodge characters from Plastic Man to the Cosmic Wrestler character that was introduced in earlier issues to Gold Beetle. So we have both of Jeremy Adams' star characters that he created in this run brought back for the big fight at the end. Who else was in there with Plastic Man? Who was sitting on the side?
Mr. Terrific was there.
Mr. Terrific, Metamorpho was there. And so pretty much Mr. Terrific and Flash go in for the fight with the Granny Goodness. And there's just giant creatures outside. And dude, the Cosmic Wrestler guy just sees stars. He's excited. Gold Beetle. Oh my God, this is amazing. Let's go get him.
Yeah.
And Plastic Man and Metamorpho are just sitting there awestruck at what they're looking at. And it's not just the giant monsters, it's Gold Beetle and the wrestler just wrecking house with him. And on the inside, you have, this is pretty important to actual DC key comic book information here. You have Mr. Terrific and Wally fighting Granny Goodness, but not directly. She has 3 kids that look like you could recognize them, maybe not, that come out that have been brainwashed, that are fighting for her, obviously kids that she had gotten before Wade. And one of them even has what looks like T-spheres. Long story short, they win the battle and all this and that. And we find out that one of those kids is actually Mr. Terrific's son, who's supposed to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's like part of this character's whole everything is the fact that him and his wife lost this child. And now we have him. He's back. So if that gets brought back in and he comes back home, there's a story that has to be told here. Like they can't just like let that go into the wayside. That's a big deal for this character. Mr. Terrific's not a throwaway character. He's in a lot of stuff. He's an important character.
I feel like Jeremy Adams, because I mean, if you've ever looked at his Instagram or his Twitter, or whatever, he's does so much stuff with his family and everything. I feel like he's on like a one-man mission to save all the kids in the DC universe.
He's doing it. He is doing it. He saved Wally. He saved this one.
He saved all those people that died that Wally killed.
Crisis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whoa. They died. He didn't kill them. They died. Yeah, it was a great issue. So running straight into the pages of Flash 800, we'll see where it goes from there. I'm oh dude, yo, when they came home, like traveling through space, through time warps and everything, when they came home and he was wearing his rebirth outfit
Yep.
with the beard and everything.
Hmm. Yep.
Like, how long have you been gone? I don't want to talk about it. I'm home.
Yeah.
Like, yo, dude, I'll be honest with you. I hope that they move him back into this outfit. Like, I prefer the outfit with the hair out the top for Wally. It just is a great way of separating him from Barry. It's just always been his look. He's still Kid Flash. Like,
Hmm.
it's just, I think it pays more respect to the legacy of the character, giving him, letting his hair blow in the wind. It's the little things in
Yeah.
life.
I mean, I wasn't thrilled with his powers and everything, but I loved him when he was wearing the blue suit and he was sitting on the
And
Metron chair.
see, I was about to say that too. I wish that they would just put him in the blue suit because it even goes back to the John Wesley ship episode. You remember what was it, Prometheus?
Hmm.
Or yeah, I think that's what his name was. It was something like that, begin with a P or something. That episode when they had the other Flash, and he had the blue outfit on, and it was Flash versus Flash. I'm curious. Wesley ship blue Flash. There he is. What was that thing? Pollux. 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 From the old early 90s Flash TV show. Actual Dracula's in the building. Congrats on your win today, my man. I watched the
Yeah.
rewind of that. And even more impressive than you winning that key comic was just how fun that show was. It was insane. Absolutely insane.
Hmm.
I got 2 packages this week, BTT and Comic Time. I'm going to do a mail call video on my YouTube channel tonight, so I'll definitely be watching that tomorrow for sure. Don't forget to shoot the link out when you get it up because I don't get notifications for everything, but I try to watch all your videos. I was watching one of them one time, and he actually made a comment. He said something in reference to me. He goes, I don't know if he'll ever watch this or not, and I left the comment like, I'm always watching. I don't always comment on all of them, but I try to keep up with as much as I can, man. Burt Family 54 is in the building. How's the new shop location, Mark? Also, it's morphin time. Steve, it's actually going really fantastic, it seems like, my man. Like, if you check the Facebook page, I know you follow them on Augusta Book Exchange on Facebook. It's a group on there that everyone should go follow. The link is in the description. But, dude, the gaming stuff is always huge for a comic store. You know, it's a comic and gaming store. And yesterday, man, it was filled out. Paul posted some pictures. It just made my heart warm to see it just like booming in there. Who else has
I
OG
do.
90s Flash TV show box set on DVD? I do. Everyone
I
should.
did too. Yeah.
And what's funny is my dad had this VHS set that when you take all the VHSs and put them in there, it's like the blurry John Wesley ship running. Like Little Monsters Inc. Always watching. TM, you got any other books? Don't you have one more, an indie book?
No, I read The Vigil though.
Did anyone else? Did you read that?
I did read it.
I did not. Y'all go ahead and tell me about it, though.
Kick it off there, Paul.
Okay.
When you just got done saying you're terrible.
I just got done saying how terrible I am about recapping this thing.
Oh well, it starts
Mark
off
could probably
with
do a
this.
better job. Mark could probably do a better job, and he hasn't even read it.
It kicks off with this woman. I'm not sure like what agency they work for, but she's working for an agency. She's talking to this guy, and that she just came out of like college, and that she's getting ready to go into the field, and then she's talking to a guy that she's taking over for, and he's retiring, and it's funny because like there is this thing that he says like. Whenever like she says, this is your orders, this is what you have to do, this is who you're reporting to, and then she asks like, what are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go probably sit on the toilet and not worry about anybody shooting me, and that plays back into the future, into later on, which is it's kind of funny that it plays into that, but the story continues and she gets introduced to her team and how she gets introduced to these 2 characters and that like they're going over like what they are all about and stuff and says, listen, we keep everything secret here. Mr. Lightless or Dr. Lightless doesn't need to know what goes on here and that. And then she shows them what they're all about. It shows these characters getting into showing like how these characters are abilities and what they can do and stuff. This one character, I forget his name in that. Like I'm new to these characters, so and they don't have English names. The guy with the mask, he can take off his mask, scan it onto somebody's face, and change his facial constructs.
And now we know because we saw them doing that in the little one shot. So that was pretty cool. I'm sitting here flipping through it.
And we find out that basically the Vigil, what they do is they find dangerous items, like world-changing items, things that should not be out, in the world, and they go and they retrieve them, and then they destroy them. That's the whole concept behind the Vigil.
Yeah, and with this guy with the mask,
Comicx, that's a huge reveal. Now we know why they're going to Gotham, because they're going to go get the little city engine that the Orgums are planning in the city. Mm-hmm. Got to be, right?
I would think.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And like they gave a little bit of a description of like what this kid was like. His facial, like his whole skin is like detached from his bone, so he has to wear this suit that actually like keeps his skin formed in and stuff, and that's why he can do the facial thing. It's like because his skin is like rubber on, like it's elastic on his bones and stuff, so they have to have a special suit for him. The other girl, she can go so fast, like it's like she kind of dances while she goes so fast and stuff, and what it is she's going super fast that like nobody can see what she's doing. Yeah. And they're saying like, oh, the camera can't pick it up, so that's why you can't see her moving. And they say that they're there for one reason, and everybody's going to think that they're there to save the
hostages,
but they're really there for the life-threatening, life-changing piece there that the world is ready for.
Waveform emitter, the MacGuffin. They're after the micro emitter from Batman Begins.
So they finally get to that, and at the end it shows like this other guy that's standing there, big buff guy and stuff, and then she's like, "Well, what can you do?" And then he just starts, his eyes just light up.
I'm sure you'll find out. Wearing the yellow shirt. And then you turn the page at the final page. Meanwhile, at the beach house in somewhere.
Oh yeah, that. It plays back to that guy, literally, like I said at the beginning. Like I had to bring that up because he literally gets shot while his pants are around his ankles.
Went out like Elvis.
So I loved it.
Yeah, it seems like it was actually pretty decent. I don't think I'm going to be picking it up, though. It looks like at the moment they're releasing it same day as on the DC Universe app. I wonder if they're going to do that with City Boy. They did not do it with Spirit World, I don't believe. Which those books are tied together, right?
Well, they're all part of the We Are Legends banner.
Yeah.
But they're not really tied to each other, really.
Oh, yep, they are doing that with Spirit World, so it's on there. So it looks like the We Are Legend books will be coming out the same day as on the DC Universe app. So yeah, there's that.
I really enjoyed it. I'm interested to see what this character is going forward.
Yeah, the We Are Legends book is already on there as well. Now, I don't know if that's available to everybody. Like, I have the Ultra tier membership, and normally I get stuff no later than a month after release, but some stuff comes same day as. So I don't know.
I would guess that probably is out there because that was a free book.
The We Are Legends one?
Yeah. And it basically just reprinted, like it reprinted the Vigil stuff from Lazarus Planet. It reprinted the Spirit World stuff from Lazarus Planet. It's just reprint. It's nothing new on that one.
Got
It's all
you.
reprinted stuff.
Yeah, it's all part of the AAPI. It's all three of those titles as they're dealing with, and like you see everybody that's attached to it too, like even the editors, they're all of Asian descent as well. So
Super cool. Well, we'll see how it plays out. I hope that they bring some quality. I know there's going to be quality with Rom V. I don't know who's writing the Spirit World or the City Boy, but the City Boy book can go kick rocks. That was a terrible story. I know TM absolutely loved it. I'm not digging it. So
I think
TM's going to keep you up
I
to
believe
speed on
Greg
that.
Pak is writing that.
City
So,
Boy?
yeah. So if you like his Star Wars stuff, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. It might be good. I just didn't care. Like it's the character itself. I don't care for a thief that phases through walls.
I think it comes out next week, doesn't it? Or when
It
does?
could be fantastic, and you can find out right here on the show from TM Nerdy. Yeah, I didn't even get through all my books from this week. I still have to read Power Rangers and Ghost Rider, and I still have like 2 issues. I have like this Ric Flair comic sitting here I haven't gotten to read yet. 2 issues of Love Everlasting that I have to get to. Getting behind on that one is a chore because that is a hefty read. Oh, Liam Sharp confirmed that Starhenge Volume 2, Book 2 is coming. So big shout out to everybody who picked that book up or went to support it when it did the hardback, because Volume 2 was contingent upon the sales of the hardback, but he confirmed it is coming. So found that out, I think today or yesterday I found that out. I don't know when I shared it to you, Paul. That's as soon as I found it out. Dad follows Liam Sharp on all kinds of stuff, and Pop saw where he was having that conversation on a thread, and he was talking about how a project that was upcoming that got canceled before it had a chance to come to fruition, and it was a Conan one-shot. And people were guessing in the comment section, trying to get him to say what it was because they didn't want to say, since it wasn't happening. And they said, please don't say it's Starhenge. It's like, oh no, Starhenge 2 is definitely happening. I'm like, yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm super excited for that. And speaking of that, if you didn't read Starhenge, it is part of. I have it right here. I do have it right here. So all of this is the Legion loot giveaway for this month. I guess I don't show this off enough. I should be like trying to promote this more. But these are all the stuff that's going to be given away the first Sunday of the month. This is the May Legion loot giveaway. So for you Star Wars fans out there, we have some legal burning Star Wars stuff from Darth Vader, and then Obi-Wan there. If you are a fan of Visiting the Spiral Dimension but did not get your copy of Not Tested on Animals, this is Dr. Von Hoot's exclusive. It was a joint exclusive that he did. Kind of fantastic. It's a really fun story. I've got multiple copies, and I'm keeping one for myself. But we have a Secret Invasion #1, Scotty Young. We have an Avengers 257, the first appearance of Nebula, old Nebula. An X-Men #1 reprint. That's the most recent one they did, I believe. Marvel Spotlight on Star-Lord #6. This is the first appearance of Star-Lord in comic size format. He was in magazine stories before this. So we got Star-Lord and Nebula in there. Some Miko Batman goodness with issue 125. That's from the Big Time Collectibles, one of the sponsored books. The Deadly Duo, black and white. Now this one I'm having a hard time getting rid of, but I give away all of them. And it's a Predator #1 Miko Suyon. Like gorgeous. And a Felipe Masafera Spider-Man issue #1. Another just absolutely gorgeous book. The Starhenge Book 1, the first volume, is entitled The Dragon and the Boar. The hardback edition, still factory sealed. I bought multiples of these to put out there into the wild and to help support. And for the slab kicker, we have the final Lin Wein story for Swamp Thing, hailing from 1974 at Swamp Thing issue 13 in an impressive 8.0.
Nice.
That's just such a gorgeous cover. Dr. Von Hoot says he still has a handful available if anybody needs one. So be sure to hit him up on the Instagrams. I'm going to tell you right now, it was a really fun read. It was wild. And who did the cover for you guys? I thought it was written on here somewhere. Might not be. But it came with tattoos and bookmarks and stuff like that. And because I got 2, I'm just going to keep mine for myself. But It's going to come just like you would have got it from him, with the tattoos, the stickers, the bookmark, all that good stuff, because we love Dr. Von Hoot over here, and we want to spread the love.
Mm-hmm.
Hoot.
Yeah, hoot. So to be entered to win those, just be sure to hit that join button down below. If you are an existing channel member, make sure you go hit that join button and make sure you're in the right tier, because it's just for the Legion tier. There's the supporter tier and the Legion tier. There it is.
Ken Salinas.
Yeah, it was a cool little book. Definitely worth it. I appreciate Dr. Von Hoot taking the time to do some fun stuff like that for the community. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight. You guys got anything else you want to touch on?
Nope. Tomorrow morning, our deep dive. We got Titans, Cyborg, and the Dawn of DC Primer. And then, like you said, keep your alert on, because you may just find that you get an extra special deep dive this week.
Yeah, we're working on some extra stuff for the next couple of weeks over there on Sector 2815's channel. If you don't know, we do a good amount of content over there regularly. So if you enjoy, especially if you enjoy DC stuff, we're very DC specific over there. It's called the DC Deep Dive, for God's sake. So I hope you don't come in there looking for Miss Marvel spoilers or something, because we ain't got it. She dies. That's all we got. She'll get better. TM, what's coming on tomorrow with Between the Lines? Who you got lined up?
We got Alex coming back. She was great. She's a fellow Canadian from Vancouver, and the theme is AAPI. So we're keeping with the theme. She asked to come back for that theme, and then later on that night, me and Roscoe will be on Carlos Collects Comicx. After Between the Lines, then this coming Wednesday, I will have Alex on Chatting with the Comic Community. And then later on that night, I'll be over on Paul Cook's channel. Me and Roscoe will be for Guess That Key.
I know him.
Yeah.
And then also we'll be over on Actual Dracula's channel, me and Roscoe, this upcoming Tuesday. We changed it around because it was Remy Q's birthday this past Thursday, and that's when we were supposed to go live on his channel, but he moved it. So me, Roscoe, and DJ Links will be over on Drac's channel Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
For his
so huge shout out to
subscriber, right?
Yeah, 500 subscriber celebration. Huge congrats to Drac, not just for winning a book, but for passing that milestone.
For just being Drac.
Yeah, not being killed right now. I've seen that Van Helsing hunting him in the chat. He's managed to evade him. Great show, guys. Should I win the Legion loot, I will gift the not tested on animals. I'm keeping that dope arse swamp thing, though. That's fair enough. Yeah, I'll just roll it over to the next Legion loot. I'll most certainly do that, sir. Congratulations. Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out tonight. Again, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It helps battle the YouTube algorithm. I've got some really fun stuff lined up this week. I don't know if you saw it on the Instagram. I've been trying to stay ahead of the curve and post out what's lined up for the week, but I have a little dive into Wonder Woman, because that Wonder Woman issue 800 is coming. The first appearance of Wonder Woman's daughter, Trinity. Everyone's losing their mind over it, so I decided to take a pause, much like I did with the Supergirl thing, which I was actually working on that Supergirl video before the announcement. But I look at numerous children that Wonder Woman's had over the years in continuity and Elseworlds and everywhere in between. So be sure to check out that video and make an educated guess when you start looking to pick up copies of the first appearance of Trinity. Also, this Wednesday, I have a very special video, and I'll give y'all the warning now. There's only 15 of y'all watching. There's a hidden giveaway in Wednesday's video. It's a special Whatnot video focusing on Rob Liefeld. And I have a very special guest join me for that video. And check it out, because in the midst of that video, I tell you how to enter a giveaway and what you could win. And next Sunday night on this show, I'll draw the winner of that. So you only have a few days from Wednesday to Sunday to enter it. But is Wonder Woman the Nick Cannon of the DCU? But Daddy, Nick Cannon's hilarious. But then the community hangout, new DC Day should be rocking and rolling. Finn is out of school now, so it's summertime. I still have the show set for 2 p.m. I might bump it up and go earlier depending on how the day goes. We'll see. I'm excited for this week. Some good stuff. And until Tuesday, guys, We Are Legion.